Imagine the United Nations General Assembly. A hush falls over the crowd as the world leader steps onto the stage. But it's not a man or woman in a suit. Instead, it's a lion, majestic and regal. Now let's just entertain this thought for a moment. A lion, the king of the jungle, as our world leader. What might that look like? Lions have long been symbols of strength, courage, and authority. They are natural leaders in the wild, commanding respect and fear from their fellow animals. Picture this. Decisions are no longer made in boardrooms or through diplomatic negotiations, but rather based on the lion's instincts. The lion, with its keen senses and raw power, would make decisions based on the survival of the fittest, not unlike the laws of nature that govern its own world. In this lion-led world, strength and courage would be highly valued. There would be no room for weakness or hesitation. Every decision would be definitive, every action taken with purpose and intent. The lion wouldn't lead with words, but with actions. But what about the other animals in our global kingdom? How would they react to such leadership? The predators like wolves and tigers might respect the lion's authority, recognizing a kindred spirit. The prey, on the other hand, might live in constant fear, always on edge, always ready to run. The birds, high above, would watch the proceedings with a detached curiosity, while the insects would continue their work, largely unaffected by the politics of the larger animals. But let's not forget, a lion's rule would also bring fierce competition. In the animal kingdom, it's survival of the fittest. This might lead to a world where only the strongest survive, where competition is not just encouraged but necessary for survival. So, a world led by a lion might be one of strength and courage, but also of fierce competition and survival of the fittest. Now, let's dive into the deep blue sea. A dolphin, with its high intelligence and notable communication skills, takes the helm of the world. Imagine a world where communication is as fluid as the currents of the ocean. Dolphins are known for their complex language filled with clicks, whistles, and body movements. They can express their thoughts, emotions, and intentions clearly. It's a form of dialogue that's both intricate and nuanced. In the world of diplomacy, this could mean fewer misunderstandings, less conflict, and more harmonious relations between nations. Dolphins also possess a playful and joyful nature. They're often seen leaping out of the water, riding swells and waves, and playing with their fellow pod members. This innate sense of joy and playfulness could translate into a world that values happiness and leisure just as much as productivity and progress. Imagine international meetings filled with laughter, world leaders engaging in friendly games as a form of diplomacy, and nations striving to create more joyful societies. But what about the issues related to the ocean and marine life? With a dolphin at the helm, these problems wouldn't be overlooked. Dolphins understand the importance of a healthy ocean ecosystem. They witness firsthand the effects of pollution, overfishing, and climate change. As world leaders, dolphins would prioritize the protection and preservation of our oceans. They would advocate for sustainable practices, encourage clean energy, and fight against practices that harm marine life. Of course, a world governed by dolphins would also come with unique challenges. We'd have to rethink our infrastructure, for one. How do you conduct a diplomatic meeting under the sea? How do you accommodate a dolphin visiting the United Nations? We'd need to invest in serious underwater infrastructure and develop technologies that allow for seamless communication between land and sea. A world led by dolphins could be one of harmony, intelligence, and joy, but we may need to invest in some serious underwater infrastructure. Next, we soar high up into the sky. A world governed by birds, specifically the eagle, a symbol of freedom and power in many cultures. Imagine a world where the leaders have an eagle eye for detail, a sharp vision that cuts through the fog of uncertainty to clearly see what lies ahead. Eagles, with their keen eyesight, are known to spot a rabbit from over 2 miles away. Now, translate that into a leadership context. Envision a leader who can spot potential problems and opportunities from miles away, even before they become apparent to others. Picture a world where the leaders don't get bogged down by the minutiae, but rather they fly high. They see the bigger picture. Eagles can fly at an altitude of up to 15,000 feet. They can see the whole forest, not just the trees. Imagine leaders who have this bird's eye view, who can rise above the petty squabbles and focus on what really matters, on the larger issues at hand. What could this mean for the way our world is governed? How might an eagle handle global issues like climate change, poverty, or conflicts? Perhaps with their clear vision and high vantage point, they could see the interconnectedness of these issues better than we do. They might realize that solving climate change is not just about reducing carbon emissions, but also about addressing poverty and inequality. They might understand that resolving conflicts is not simply about winning wars, but about building peace. Under the leadership of eagles, our world might be a place where the focus is always on the big picture, on long-term solutions, rather than short-term gains. We might see a world where leaders are not afraid to take flight, to soar above the challenges and lead us towards a better future. And let's not forget, eagles are early birds. They are most active during the early hours of the day. So in an eagle-led world, expect a lot of early mornings, a lot of action right at the crack of dawn. An eagle-led world might mean a focus on the big picture, a clear vision for the future, and perhaps a lot of early mornings. Finally, let's trudge into the wild savanna where an elephant, known for its wisdom and excellent memory, is in charge. Picture this, a world where the leader doesn't forget a thing, where every decision is carefully pondered upon, and where wisdom is the cornerstone of governance. That's the world we might live in if elephants were our world leaders. Elephants, with their immense memory capacity, remember every detail, every incident, and every face. Imagine how this could revolutionize decision-making processes. No longer would we experience the frustration of repeated mistakes, for our elephant leader would remember and learn from each one. The wisdom of elephants is not just about their memory, but also their ability to make decisions based on their experiences. Their wisdom is a blend of memory, intelligence, and emotional understanding, a potent mix that could lead to insightful and effective governance. But it's not just wisdom and memory that set our elephantine leaders apart. These giants of the savannah are known for their peaceful nature. Despite their size and strength, elephants rarely use their power to harm others. Instead, they live in structured, cooperative societies where the needs of the many are considered and catered to. Imagine a world with less conflict, where disputes are settled peacefully, and where the focus is on cooperation and mutual benefit. That's the world our elephant leaders could bring about. Then there's the elephant's deep connection with nature. Elephants are ecosystem engineers, shaping their environment and creating habitats for other species. They have a deep understanding of the balance of nature and the importance of each species. Imagine a leader who understands the value of every life form, who prioritizes environmental preservation, and who makes decisions that benefit all of Earth's inhabitants. A world led by elephants could be one of wisdom, peace, and an enhanced focus on environmental preservation. With their wisdom, memory, peaceful nature, and understanding of the environment, elephants could lead us into a future where harmony, respect for nature, and thoughtful decision-making are the norms. So we've explored a world led by various members of the animal kingdom. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've learned. In a world led by our furry friends, we saw cooperation and social bonds taking center stage. The lions, wolves, and other pack animals showed us the value of unity and teamwork. They also taught us that leadership isn't about dominance, but about guidance and support. However, their territorial nature could lead to conflicts, highlighting the importance of diplomacy and compromise. When we dove into the world of dolphins, we glimpsed a society led by intelligence and communication. Their complex language and problem-solving skills could potentially lead to innovative solutions to global issues. However, their playful nature might distract them from serious matters, underscoring the need for balance between work and play. Our feathered friends in power showed us a world driven by resourcefulness and adaptability. Birds, with their ability to fly, symbolize freedom and perspective. They could provide a bird's-eye view on global issues, literally. However, their migratory habits could lead to inconsistent leadership, emphasizing the need for stability and continuity in governance. As for the elephants, they reminded us that wisdom and memory are key elements of effective leadership. Their long lifespans and exceptional memory could result in a world that learns from its past. However, their slow pace might hinder quick decision-making, reminding us that sometimes swift action is necessary. Although it's a wild idea, imagining animals as world leaders helps us appreciate their unique qualities and reminds us of the importance of coexistence in our shared world. After all, we're all animals on this planet.